Hey guys, this is Mike coming at you today from Player One Video Games with the latest installment of Storytime, episode 18, I believe.
Ooh.
And today, I know we've been 18 of these, and boy, it doesn't feel like it.
Boy, does time fly.
It does, yeah, it does. So we are talking about today. We had a request yesterday to talk about the Fairchild Channel F. No, we're not going to do that.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
No, not the Fairchild Channel F. So this week we're going in order, chronological order. So last video was the GameCube.
Right, GameCube.
GameCube, and the original Xbox, the PS2 that generation, which was a nice generation, right?
Yeah, go back and watch those videos, guys.
I like that generation. Yeah, go back and watch those. But I knew something about that generation because HD TVs came out in '99, ones that you could buy, but they were like $25,000. But in 01, things started becoming somewhat affordable. And so in 01, you could buy an HD TV, for like $1,700. And I bought one.
Mm-hmm.
And I hooked up my original Xbox with component cables through it. And it was definitely a notch better than the PS2 or the Xbox with regular composite cable, right? Or S-Video. It's definitely a notch better, but it still wasn't photorealistic like when you're watching something in HD, like a regular channel.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that clear. The original Xbox with HDMI or component cables. So I knew the next generation, when the 360 came out, that it was going to be that HD true 720p or 1080i quality back then. And so, always in the back of my mind when I was playing the original Xbox and PS2, I always would go, man, I wish these graphics were a notch better.
Mm-hmm.
Just a notch. That HD quality, true HD that I was craving. And actually, I was wanting that quality, that type of clarity. Let's go back a little bit more. Even more. So when the Genesis, when the Neo Geo, to me, that was perfection. The Neo Geo on a tube TV, on a nice Trinitron or flat screen,
Mm-hmm.
that just looked amazing. Now when the PS1 came out, it was a little harder on the eyes.
Right, for sure.
It was 3D, and that's what we wanted to play. I didn't want 2D anymore of the Neo Geo, even though it looked amazing and cartoons looked great. That's how Nintendo gets away with stuff right now on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's another story. And so
send your hate mail to Player One Video Games.
So we went from 2D cartoon perfection with the Neo Geo in 91, 90 or around that time, to when in 94 the 3DO and then 95 the PS1 came out, and the graphics were kind of hard on the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it was. But I didn't care so much, because we got 3D gaming.
Right.
And that's what everybody was after, and I was after. And so it took...
Which was the style at the time.
Which was the style, yeah. The polygon, the virtual fighter, a barren landscape, but you look 3D.
Right. We were tired of seeing cartoons. We wanted to see...
Yeah, we wanted to see polygons.
Right.
So it took... What year did this come out?
This came out in 2000 and...
You think we would look this up before? Was it 06?
Sure, yeah, let's go with that. Okay, if you guys know...
Twan, look up when what year did the Xbox 360 come out?
Pull this arcade, Mike, see if it says on the back.
Let's see what this says real quick.
Whoa!
What was that? I hope nothing was in
wah,
there.
Wah.
Yeah. This says... What, Twan, what, have you looked it up?
No. Pick out the box.
Yeah. Well, this is going to add an extra minute of fun to the video, right?
Yay!
I think I know I was married to my first wife, so I'm going to say 05.
Sure, that sounds good. Let's go with that.
What are you coming up? When Twan finds the answer,
everybody, pause your video right now.
Pause it. Okay, here we go. Let's get going. So, did I get my 360 on launch? Twan, did you find it?
Yeah.
2005.
2005.
Okay.
Woo!
05. That's when it came out.
Yay!
So, did I get my 360 at launch?
Did you?
What a story. Now,
Oh, here we go.
this is not as good as the PS2 story.
Guys, if you haven't heard that story, go watch the PS2 video and then get back here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And watch that and come back. So, all right. The 360. Now, nothing was as crazy as the PS2 launch. I still think to this day, nothing's crazier than that launch. Not just from my experience, but the whole launch was insane, right? So people were like me. Hey, this 360 is going to be HD.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really sought after, and you better go pre-order your 360 months in advance. I remember I was working in Freeport at Dow Chemical at that time. So at the mall in Lake Jackson, they had a GameStop. So I went in there and I pre-ordered months and months before the 360 came out, and I went pretty quick, and I was like number 24
Wow.
on the pre-order, and I'll go, oh God, that's kind of high. And they said, don't you worry your pretty little head. We're going to be getting like 50 of these. Right? I
Okay.
said, they're making a lot at launch. And I go, okay, all right. So a week before launch, I get a call from that GameStop. Sorry, it looks like we're only getting 10 360s in at launch.
Boo.
And man, I was so mad because I could have, if they would have known before, I could have went somewhere else and
Right.
pre-ordered, you know.
For sure.
So what was I going to do?
You told them that you were number 9.
Yeah, I had a thing, a slip, number 24.
Oh, no. Okay,
And
never
they
mind.
knew I was 24, right?
that's a
so
shame.
I couldn't scam the people, or I would have tried. And I mean, I wanted this thing really bad. I wanted the 360. It was, you know, it was a system that I was really excited to get.
Hey, Mike, were these rented off at at Hollywood Videos?
That's the first thing that happened. I destroyed the Blockbuster game console renting business in one fell swoop, right? Me and a bunch of other people too. So, okay, so I was angry. What was I going to do?
What did you do?
What did I do? Thank God my cousin was unemployed at the time.
Okay.
So Walmart, if you stood in line 24 hours before launch, you were going to probably get one. So I said, cousin, you want to make some money? So I gave my cousin $50 to stand in line. Right, he got in there quick. He was like number 8, I think.
Okay.
In line.
And they were only going to get 10 in also, probably. So
They weren't going to get that many. And so he was in line for about 24 hours.
Yikes.
But they let you, once you got into line, they gave you a ticket.
Oh,
And
okay.
So you could go walk around.
Okay, so you weren't like bound to.
You weren't bound
Okay.
but you had to come back and check in. I don't remember what the thing was. And if you didn't check in, you lost
You
your
weren't
spot.
there, man.
Yeah, I don't remember. So at 6, it was going to be a midnight launch.
Okay.
So at 6 o'clock, I get off work. I go there and I get a pizza for him because she's tired of eating Walmart pretzels.
Oh,
you know,
I bet.
So I go order him a pizza. I go to the pizza. I said, look, I'm gonna go home because I had to go to work the next morning. You know, back then I worked at 6. I had to leave my house at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
Okay.
So I was gonna have to be there. I wanted to get it from him at midnight and play it for a little bit. And so I went back right at midnight, and he was able to get one. And I remember driving home was about 12:30, and I had to be up at 4:30 the next morning, right? But I took a little nap, before I went out there, so I had a little sleep in me. And I hooked it up, and the game that I bought 2 games.
Okay.
I bought this game.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Hold on.
What's that?
Yeah, let's reverse it a little bit.
All right,
I missed one
bring
thing.
it back.
Sorry, guys. Let's bring it back. So I pre-ordered this months before you. You just heard that. Well, the first time I actually saw this in motion, was about 2 or 3 weeks before launch. I went to Walmart on El Dorado shopping.
Okay.
I went to the electronics section, and they had Call of Duty 2 actually playing, and you can control it on a TV screen, right? Oh, like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.
That's how you're going to get of seeing Tuan is his hand.
So, and I remember looking, I read it in magazines. I might have watched a couple videos, but I remember looking up at the TV and going, oh, this is what I've been wanting forever.
It's kind of recreated here.
So this exact game, Call of Duty 2, which was a launch game,
That looks really good.
even now, now this came out in, what did we say, 05?
05. Look at that guy's shivering, and you
Yeah.
can see their breath.
So this was 18 years ago, and the graphic quality in the last 18 years, you have to have like a 4K TV, and you can tell the difference on lighting, of course. But at the time, if this is the highest quality that for the rest of eternity that there is, I'd be fine with it. Now I know I've said that on the
Yeah.
Dreamcast too.
No, I
But to
agree.
me, this is fine by me right now. But at the time, imagine in 05, you're looking up and you're seeing HD gaming for the first time in history. For me, it was. And I go, this is what I've been wanting since 1994. Right? In a way. You know?
Oh, for
and
sure.
Especially since the last generation, the previous generation before the 360, for those 5-6 years, I was wanting this type of graphics. And so I played this game. It was on a little demo timer. And I said, oh my God, I cannot wait. And then my bubble got burst, of course, at GameStop. But my cousin came through. I took it home. We'll go fast forward. I took it home. It was like 1 a.m. I'm tired. I go, God, I got to be up in 3.5 hours. I don't care. I popped in Call of Duty. And I also bought, I believe it was Project Gotham Racing.
Okay.
Maybe it was 3.
Here, we'll,
It came out.
I'll kind of do a
We
little
have
thing
one on
here.
here?
No,
No,
we
we
don't. So I'm just going to move a little here.
And I'll pretend like I'm going to
There you go.
thing. Yeah.
There, post video mic. There you go.
November 22nd,
Oh,
2005. So
That's like after Black Friday.
yeah, after Black Friday. So I hooked it up and I was playing it and I was going, oh man, this is great.
oh no.
I was tired.
Right.
And I had worked the night before. I was used to going to bed at 9:30 at night and 10 o'clock, and then getting up so early. So I played it for about 15 minutes. So it was kind of lackluster moment. The big moment for me when I saw it at Walmart.
Right.
I got to play it there, and so
That and the drive home for sure.
Yeah, right. And so, but the next day when I got home, I played this thing to death. I loved it. It was exactly what I was wanting. To me, it was just so much fun. And see how you can see the snow going in the wind.
Yeah, flurries.
The flurries.
That's not picking up very well on here,
Yeah, okay.
but you know what? Take our word for it.
Yeah. So I had never seen that in a game like that.
No, that's actually really cool.
If you saw rain in a game, like say Toka Racing on PS1, it looked horrible. You just
Right,
saw
you just saw white lines.
white lines, pixelated white lines.
Right.
So to see particle effects, particles and stuff going in snow, it's just my mind. I just couldn't stop watching the game, and the game played really good at the same time. So I wasn't just a graphics hoe, if you want to call that, right?
That's okay. We're past 8 seconds of the video, so you can
All
say
right,
that.
We're good. So this had everything at the time. You had not only the graphic. Oh, that's 4. It was 3. So you not only had the graphics, you had the gameplay too, and that's what I always thought that I loved about the 360 is it not only had the graphics, it had the gameplay. It was really well done.
So it's that perfect balance that you were
It
really
was
looking for.
It was the best balance to me of everything, like when the Wii came out, we'll talk about that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
in the future.
That's in the future. So it didn't have a balance. So this system to me had balance, and it was great. It was perfect at the time.
Hey Mike, can I ask you a quick question here?
Yeah.
So you bought a launch 360 here, right?
Yes. I bought this one right here.
Right there. That's your box right there.
White arcade. No, this is not the.
No, that's not. But this is the system here.
Oh yeah.
Good old fashioned
Let me
system.
grab that.
Quick question, Mike. Oh, there goes that box.
Again.
That box is
What is in that box? Oh, nothing. So,
spirits are in that box.
Here is the launch system. This is the white. Every one of them was like this. The white arcade, right? And at the time, you loved it, kissed it, massaged it, but you didn't know it was a ticking time bomb.
This is where I was going to go with it. You knew I was going to go with this.
Yes. And within a year, right? And everybody knows this. Everybody's on the planet started red ring of death. So you get this. It overheat inside, melt the flow path, right? And this thing would start red ringing, okay, and it would not play your games. I was going to bring a microwave in here as a prop and pull it out of the, have it ding and pull it out of the microwave, because a lot of people wrap this in a towel.
Yeah, they
Put it
did
in the
some
microwave,
crazy stuff.
and it would work, but it only worked for about maybe 3 weeks, or maybe you might get a month or two out of it, and then that flow would get melted again and blend together. So, and it wouldn't work anymore. So the only company on the planet that could get away with that is Microsoft. Probably they're the only ones that had enough money to deal with that issue and keep going, because when I mean everybody's red ring, everybody's red ring.
Mm-hmm.
And some people bought a second one, and that one red ring. I've heard people having 3 red ringers.
Yep.
Have you?
Yeah, I have, and that's why here at Player One we do not take this launch model.
Right. Now they did eventually fix it.
They did.
Now the second, this is a 16 amp model. We won't get too much into that because I don't like talking specs and all that kind of stuff. That's not me.
Nah, those are boring.
Those are boring. But this is a 16 amp model, and every 16 amp model red ring. So Microsoft fixed it with a 14 amp model, and the first one of those that I remember coming out was
Let's see if we can do it without it falling over again.
It was one of these black edition ones, and now the Halo. There was a Halo edition, a green one that everybody was buying, a 14 amp model.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? The 14 amps red ring too.
Wah, wah.
And so that was just pissing everybody, and it made you scared to buy one. But it did not matter, because I was going to own one of these if I red ringed one every year.
I mean, look at it. Look at that.
Yeah,
Fantastic. I mean, it's worth it.
it's definitely worth that.
At the time, it was worth it.
And so finally, when they came out with this slim model right here, this is a Halo 4 edition, but basically it looked like this. That one is a 12 amp model, and they never red ring, unless anything could happen. But we don't see those red ring too often. But here's some stats: 54.2 chance of red ring. I disagree. I think it's a 99% chance of red ringing.
Thanks a lot, Twan.
Yeah, thanks, Twan. So, but we got past that.
Yeah.
We got past it, and the red ring of death, and you just lived with it. Now, I had one experience too. My second one didn't red ring. It started chewing up my discs.
No.
It took about 3 or 4 plays, and then I remember going, putting it off to the side and going, why is it this one not playing? And I looked at the back, and it just laser burned it to death.
Oh, the circles.
Yeah, the circles.
Yikes.
And I didn't even know it was doing it on its own. And I had 3 discs like that. And I didn't even know it did that. And they became unplayable, $60 games.
Woof.
Pissed you off. And so then finally when the Slim came out, had no issues with the Slim. Or they did have a 12 amp model of the arcade edition, which I got, the Resident Evil, the red one. So they did at the end of that life have one. So that's the one I had for a long time. All right, let's get it off the negativity.
Yeah. Okay.
And stuff.
So Call of Duty 2, great stuff. What else did you play, Mike?
Okay. Let's talk about this. I got divorced. I became single.
It's okay, guys. It's okay. He's better now.
I'm better now. I'm married again now. I've been married a long time now. Wonderful wife, wonderful daughter. Love you guys. All right. Okay. So, back then I was a bachelor. Again, no kids. And I was, go on dates, go out on weekends. You know how you did. You had fun every weekend. Do what you wanted. This game made me stop. All right. Now, the reason was, back in 99, 98, when Quake Unreal Tournament Online came out, I freaked over those. That was the predecessor to this. No console gaming was good online. Some people liked Halo 2. I didn't mind if it was networked.
Right.
But if you played it online, it was get choppy or kick you off.
We were still in the infancy of that.
It was infancy, or when I said Ghost Recon, it was in the infancy, and I'd lay down in the blood, and everyone I could kill people back then. And it was choppy a little bit, and it was infancy, like you said. But when this game came out, I remember I probably didn't go on any dates. I would cancel dates, right? And I said, sorry, I can't make it this Friday night. I didn't tell him I was playing Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, but that's what I was doing. So this game, to me, when it came out, I was like, oh man, finally, whatever year was supposed to, 07, 08, online perfection to me. was this game. It was so the precision of it. You could play with your controller, you know.
Which, by the way, is a very nice controller. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like they took that smaller controller from the original Xbox and made it wireless.
Yeah, you could be more precise, like, you know, with this right thumbstick, you know, like the aiming on it. Like Halo, yeah, that's true. Call of Duty killed Medal of Honor, I'll agree.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks. So the precision that you could get, it still was not as good as a mouse, you're right, and keyboard, but it was good enough.
Right.
It got you past that. And, you know, it looked like this, kind of, but online, and I played that for months. And I never got good at it. Like if I had a 1-to-1 kill, you know, death kill ratio, I was happy. So I was never great at it, but I still loved it. I'd memorized some maps and stuff like that, and absolutely loved it.
What else do we have here, Mike?
Yeah, let's see.
What else
Let's
you
go
got here?
the order here. What I'm doing. Okay, all right. Let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 4.
Hey!
All right. So I loved the GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, but what was the issue with those a little bit?
They were still kind of blocky. They were
look
still.
They look like not even its generation of graphics, right? So when this one came out, I was like,
Finally.
some. Now this is a choppy game a little bit. The frame rate.
It is. It can be.
You know,
Yeah,
it can
sure.
be when there's a lot of stuff going on. So, but I didn't care. And then you could punch in all the cheat codes on the phone and get the tank or whatever, you know, whatever it was. Or I remember I used to get up on this building and you could go inside, back into the building, back out, and just it'd be you know, where the SWAT team would come and try to get you. And you just go out and kill everybody, and then go back in and heal up, go kill everybody. You know, I'll just do that for an hour. So when this game came out, I went, oh my goodness. Okay, not only is my open world gaming great, gameplay huge, just this felt huge. The story was awesome too at the time, but I got the HD quality graphics.
Yeah.
You know, it still wasn't like this.
For sure. Speaking of, what else do we have that we could put in here besides this Call of Duty 2? What else do we have?
Let's put in. Okay, these came out a little bit later. I'm not going in any particular order right now of things, but you know the Tony Hawk games. When the Tony Hawk games came out, it was pure arcade fun.
Right.
To me, it was a PlayStation 1 system seller. I loved 1 and 2.
Your favorite arcade game is 720.
My favorite arcade game is 720. And you know, I can't skateboard a lick. Not even, nothing. I can't even skateboard in a straight line for 10 feet. Nothing like that. So, why I love skateboarding is maybe because I can't do it. Right? So when Tony Hawk was out, they came out with so many Tony Hawks and undergrounds and you know, and you could get off your skateboard. And I didn't like that much.
Right.
And it was so arcade, it was over the top. When this game came out, Skate, it was so realistic to play. It was so hard to grind on a curb, on a low curb. When you got that little thing, you felt like you accomplished something, right? So let me get this going here.
Hey, look, P1VG.
Yes, you did it. You did it. I appreciate you doing that. So I haven't played this game in a while. The second one is my favorite. This first one is very difficult. Even to this day, I don't even know if I can. I haven't played this one in a long time. But just to grind on a curb, on a rail.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, just to grind was an accomplishment. To do a kick flip, you know, however you did that was. So it went from arcade all the way this way, this game, to all the way simulation. And oh my God, I have not played this game in a while. Oh yeah, that's right. You flip up and flip down. It's funny how you don't forget certain things sometimes. You played it so much. Let's see. This, you know, it's.
Oh, he almost ran into a tree.
Uh-oh. See how you do this, and you have to flick.
Hey.
Let's see if I can do a grind this. No, okay.
Lady, get out of the way.
There we go. All right, nose
Ew.
grab. Okay, just to do a little complex. Now, what is that in Tony Hawk? That's nothing
Right.
to do that. In Tony Hawk, you're doing 720s or 1080s. You
Right.
ain't doing that in this one. Oh, do a barrel roll. Oh, who?
Thank-
all right.
thanks, Twan.
Thanks, Twan. So just oh man, this is such a fun game. But this is what I loved about the 360. It wasn't okay. Here is Tony Hawk. Now, in previous, say PS1, skate or die. Okay, you got Tony Hawk and you got a bunch of crappy. The skateboarding games will get crappy and crappier and crappier.
Mm-hmm.
But with 360, they had the power in the programming to not only have Tony Hawk games, but to make something better or more unique.
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It's still the physics on this.
It still looks awesome. Let's see if I can just get him up there. There he goes. Yeah. I mean, this is just a fun. It's so crazy how something little like that makes you feel like you're accomplished something, And so that's why I loved this game when it came out. I remember getting it, running up to my apartment, and there was this kid that lived below me, and he was a skater kid, right?
Okay.
And I had this in my hand, and I said, "Look what I got!" And I never talked to this kid. I think his name was Matt.
Hey, Matt, say
yeah.
hello to us.
Yeah, and he later became a customer at the store, and I wonder if I should tell this story or not. Maybe I should. Okay. So
Pause. Let's figure out.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
let's go.
I said,
Let's
"Hey
do it."
Matt, look what I got. Skate." He went, "Whoa, you got skate? Oh man!" But I didn't invite him out. He was like 12 years old. I would just see him skateboarding around where I park my car all the time. A couple of his friends. And I said, "Look what I got." He wanted to play it.
Yeah.
And
No, you can't come over.
You can't come over. No. So I actually, me and my best friend invented a little thing called Ollie 900, and it was looked like a little mini skateboard.
Okay.
I might have one at the house still, and I put a cap nut on the bottom, and you can put it on the ground and put your foot on it and spin on it. It's kind of like if you put a rock underneath your foot and spin on the.
Gotcha.
On the
Okay.
rock. And so I was trying to get that sold to a company, to Razor actually, and I needed a kid to test it out.
Right.
And so I videoed that kid. I said, "Matt," I said, man, I think his name's Matt. I can't remember. And so I said, "Here, try this." And he went down to the apartment and he skateboarded on it. And I took the video. I sent it to Razor, and we sold it.
Hey.
And you know what I did?
What's that?
I gave him a 360 the next time I saw him.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, so
Did you give him a copy of Skate?
I sure didn't.
Oh.
Okay, so let's get off of Skate. That was probably a boring story.
No, that was awesome.
Maybe I'll have a picture of it. All right.
What else you got?
Going. All right. I love racing games, of course.
Right.
And to this day, still to me, the racing game that has the best feeling, like I'm really racing it, and it's because I like to stick shift the car. I don't just play it automatic.
Right.
So this game right here, the way you shift, and I should have put it in there, you shift with these trigger buttons, and like this will be the clutch, and then bump on, have to push the clutch in, and then shift while your clutch is in.
Kind of like paddle shifting.
Yeah, but it's actually more simulation with your clutch in. It's even more in depth than paddle shifting. And Forza 5 doesn't feel the same as this. None of the Horizons feel like this. So that's why I love this game, and I still play it to this day because of the stick shift feel on it. So it's the little details.
Forza 4.
Yeah, it's the little details that the 360 can have that you couldn't have on a PS1. Like that feel of a stick shift.
Mm-hmm.
That never felt like. I played Toka a lot on the PS1, and I think you could have a stick shift, but it didn't feel nothing like this. Or Gran Turismo.
Right.
It was automatic. It was just a little bit different. So
Sure.
But
Go ahead.
do any of these games have that I'm showing you have anything meaning for you? We'll get to your games later.
Nope.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet. We're not there yet.
Let's keep going real quick. So we've done this one. We've done Skate, and I'm gonna keep that one. What was it? Oh, Mirror's Edge. Oh no.
Tell us about Mirror's Edge, Mike.
Oh God. Let me while I do this. I can play VR. Right?
Okay.
I have no problem with it. I can play for 30 minutes. I don't know if I can play like a full hour of VR and not start. I'll feel wonky. I won't feel sick.
Right.
I will feel just a little wonky if I play like a 45 minutes or an hour maybe, or if I play a really bad airplane game that's not made well.
Gotcha.
I don't. It makes me feel kind of weird. Oops. I have never had a game make me nauseous before,
And then you've got.
except for this game, Mirror's Edge. I'm afraid to try it right now.
All right.
Really am. I have not tried this game since it came out, and I really wanted to play this game.
All right, guys, come on, give us some likes because Mike's gonna get sick on
I
camera.
don't
Let's
know
go.
if darn it, I was hoping this game wouldn't work.
Oh nope, I tested it, Mike.
You did?
Yeah, I want to make sure it worked before we even went into it.
All right. I know we're kind of game heavy, talking game heavy on this episode, aren't we?
But you know what? That's what made the 360 great.
That's exactly right, because it was game heavy. It wasn't like the Cube where things barely came out. Wow, okay, I got this one game good. What's the next game? Oh, in 6 months this comes out.
Yeah, because even on multi-platforms, most people bought it for the 360.
So let's continue game.
Continue
oh
game.
my God! I'm
You're
afraid
welcome.
right now. Look, I don't want to be sick all night here. Let's see. Run, Mike. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, that's the end of the video.
No, stay here. Thanks, Twan.
All right. Let's see.
Hey, guys, let us know in the comments if you like Twan popping up in these videos like this. This is fantastic.
Yeah, we like it, Twan.
We do.
Or is that Dr. Moron doing that?
No, that's Twan.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, no.
Oh.
I don't think I can do it.
So Mike says he wants Mirror's Edge on VR.
Oh, Lord,
you
I died
found your
already.
death.
All right,
Oh.
let me try this one more time.
He unalived.
I'm already feeling kind of weird inside. Okay, here we go. Let's see. This is like parkour, huh?
Don't look down.
Oh, I don't even know. Hey, I don't even know remember how to play this game. Let me try it one more time.
Okay, one more time. Here we go.
Epic fails going on. Which way do I go here? Let's see.
I don't know. Down, I guess.
Let me look around here. I'm not getting sick so far. Let me look down here. No, I am getting a little bit. I can tell. I'm sliding there. Let me see if I can run fast.
Oh, it's that motion blur that's on there.
You know what?
That's what's doing it,
Now
Mike.
that you say that, it is.
This one has motion blur.
It is the motion blur, isn't it?
I mean, I know it's trying to simulate,
There we go. There's
speed and stuff, but ugh.
Let me try this one more time. I don't know. I'm glad I don't know how to play this game because I never did. But I played it for about 10 minutes when it first came out, and I started. I can already feel right now, and it's the motion blur that's getting me. You're exactly right. Let's just leave it on that.
Yeah.
Still pick right there.
Look at that. Look at that.
So.
That's picturesque.
Oh, my stomach. So that was a good game. No, actually, it is a good game. People love this one. I do recommend it, but not for me. Army of Two, couch co-op, hard to find.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, when Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out to play online, everything went nuts. And you know what I remember thinking? The only negative thought I thought about that game was, what happens when online isn't available and this game goes, well, I can't play this game anymore?
Oh, you were
worried me.
You were already predicting the future.
I was already worried about it. You know, that happens a lot too now. But this game, when people say, I want to play with my friend in the same room, Call of Duty style, or or shooter style, this is still a couch co-op, and I always recommend this. And half the time we don't even have this one in stock, but this one goes pretty quickly because of the couch co-op, and it's not a bad game on top of that too. So that's why I like this one. Why I like this game.
Brink, what is it?
Brink is because our former manager, every time we talk about games, I always tell him about this. Oz, who was here forever, if y'all know Oz.
Shout out if you know Oz.
He bought this game brand new, full price, and he hated it. Because it's all more not about gameplay, but about fixing up your character and creating character creation more than gameplay. And I remember him being so pissed because he was broke. And he bought this $60 game, so that's why I'm gonna have this out here. Okay.
That's funny.
Let's do this one next. What is about Crackdown that I liked? It was an underground, it was open world, but to me it was like a surprise. This is a fun game. And what was the hook? It was getting more powerful with your jumps and grabbing orbs that were higher and higher. So it had this hook. And that's something I want to talk about maybe on future episodes. Like instead of, hey, what's your top 10? Maybe why was it your top 10? What's, to me,
like
there's
go in
always
depth.
a hook in a game.
Yeah.
So what's the hook? And what do you like? Like in Forza, in the Forza 4, the hook for me was the gear shifting, manual shifting. The hook in this one was getting more powerful and being able to jump higher to grab the orbs.
Look at that, guys. You're actually getting a preview of a future type of video for us.
That's right. I was thinking about that the other day. What are the hooks that you like in the game?
Hey, thanks, Twan.
All right. So, yeah, that's right. That's what it's like. So that's what I like about that. It had a hook. It was a surprise hit for me. You could get in the car. You could, it was just great. Now, talk about one of my favorite car games of all time. Hey.
Oh, look.
This is live action right there. This Need for Speed game, to me, has a great story, if you want to call it that, in the game. You had 20 cars you got to go through and beat, and it had amazing upgrades for your cars. It was at the time of the day, just a feeling. It was a perfect balance of it was more arcade than simulation, of course, but it had great feeling, and I still think to me, for an open world arcade game, there's not much better than this. This, and especially on the 360 now, it's on the PS2 and in Cube, but the graphics aren't as good as this, of course.
Of course.
So this is definitely a must. Gears of War.
Oh, Gears of
The
War.
first one.
Tell us about it, Mike.
What I remember about this game while I'm playing it is because you remember the scene like kind of at the beginning when that berserker comes out and starts going nutsoid on you.
Right.
It was so loud. I could not beat that guy unless I turned off the volume. The loudness of him and the scariness of him, I just said, man, I gotta shut this volume all the way down.
It's like when you're driving, you have to turn down the volume on your radio so you can see better.
Yeah, it was the same thing exactly. I couldn't see good enough to play because I had to turn down the volume. So that was what was weird about this. All right, I don't usually talk about compilations because I love them all.
Right.
But what I love about this compilation is my favorite video game of all time, a home, arcade, whatever you want to call it, is the arcade game 720. A unique game experience you cannot play unless it's in an arcade game because you have a slanted joystick on a chained potentiometer.
Yeah, it's
stupid, right? And that arcade now is like $4,000. You ain't touching it.
Yeah, it's
less than
unique
that.
for sure.
Unique, and this has it on there. But what's cool about it is, if you slant your joystick like this, and you can go around and around and make him spin, and so it's kind of like having that slanted joystick potentiometer in your hand,
Okay.
And you can go like this, and you can play just good enough to really get the feel of it with your finger.
Xbox 360. It's just good enough.
It's just good enough. Right? Yeah, just good enough. So that's what I was doing.
Oh, Mike, let's save this one.
We'll save that one.
We'll save that one.
Saints Row. Let's do a couple of these real quick.
Yeah.
We'll move on to yours and move on. For a short time, this was my favorite open world game. Beat GTA, mainly because the hook.
Yeah.
The hook I loved is that you could crash into somebody's window like Superman, feet first,
Right.
and steal the car instantly and go.
Right.
That's what I loved. Instead of having to pull them out, beat them up, and get in the car and take.
Yeah, it was goofy. It was
goofy,
fun.
Great story. It was just a fun game.
Oh, look
You
at her.
know the direction.
I'm sorry. She was picking her nails.
Oh,
she was
was?
getting bored.
She's getting bored over here.
Rude.
So for a short time, this was my favorite open world.
That's always
GTA
fun.
5
Yeah.
came out. Tomb Raider, finally a good Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Right, this was the first one. I didn't like all the ones in between Angel and Darkness, and all. I did not like those too much. The gameplay was kind of broken in some spots, But when this one came out, even though it's not open world, it was open world, just enough of areas. It was linear, but there was big enough areas that felt open world.
Almost like one of the best video game reboots.
I love this one. Yeah, just regular Tomb Raider. If you've never tried that and you slept on the series, or you go, hey, Tomb Raider's not for me, this is a great game, fun game. I like it better than like the Uncharted games. For me personally. So that's a lot of fun.
Okay. All right, Mike, let's do it.
Last one for me.
If
part
you
of me
know,
died.
if you've watched if you've followed the series, then you know what he's about to talk about.
Yeah, part of me died in 04 or 05 when they announced that NFL 2K5 was going to be the last one because EA Sports bought out the NFL rights to football, and this was the only football game made in 06 or forever, pretty much.
Look at that. They're proud of that too. Look at, they say exclusive NFL license.
And what this game proves is that competition makes a better product.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Madden had competition, it made NFL 2K better. It made Madden a little bit better. This game, they didn't even try. There's no announcer. There's no announcers in this game. You have a stadium announcer. The gameplay is horrible. It is so bad, and they knew that it could be bad because it was the only game on the market, and they would buy it. So that's why I hated Madden for years after this. And I finally played the first one that I kind of liked this current Madden. So
Okay.
I'm barely playing it, not much. All right, let's talk about your man. We really talked a lot about games.
Yeah.
Not so much stories, you know. Nobody died in this story or nothing. But
No.
let's talk about a couple of yours.
Speaking of dead,
That's what I remember when I saw that.
if you guys have not played the Left 4 Dead series, you are missing out. I am not a zombie person. I'm not a shooter person. But man, do I love this game. You should buy it. You should buy it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why do you love it? What's the hook?
I don't know, man. It's just good. It's I don't know. It's
good.
just good.
Just good.
It's just
Not just
good.
enough.
It's just good.
Just good. Okay.
Xbox 360 is just good. And anybody remember this? This is Metal Gear Solid Whopper Edition.
Does it have the Metal Gear Solid engine?
You know, no, but man, I'll tell you what, it's actually kind of fun. If you haven't,
I've never played
get
it.
And it was funny because like you would go in and they did this promotion where you spend you'd buy a meal, but then you'd spend like $5,
This
and then
game
you would
was
get the
only
game.
$5?
Yeah,
Brand new.
yeah, brand new.
That's like a 1983, 84 video game crash. Eckerd drug prices.
Right, but the difference is that game is actually
That
fun.
was good. That was good.
That's all I'm gonna say about that. So if you like those type of games, try to hunt a copy of that down. Mike, what else do we have to say?
I think.
What else we got?
I'm trying to think of the end of the life of the 360. It kind of never ended for me.
Twan board, do you have anything? What you got?
Twan board.
No Twan board? Okay.
You know, I sometimes I go, okay, well, this was the last game I played on this system, and I'm putting this away, or I didn't play this anymore when this system came out. I still play my 360.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna bring it up here.
Yeah.
I was playing this last night.
Yeah.
So
When I say I still play, I still play my Super Nintendo, of course, and my Neo Geo, but I never put my 360 away.
yeah, I played this
never
last
did.
week.
You played this last week, yeah. So the same thing. So I think that's what it shows about this system, that I never put it away. I never did. It's in my living room still right now because there's some games that I can't play on my Xbox One or Series that I play on my 360. Or my saves are on there, like my Forza Horizon 4 save.
Right.
Or my NFL 2K5. I can upgrade it onto the 360 from the original Xbox, but with some saves on it. So that's why I keep it in the living room. I have my R2D2 with CP3O controller, in my living room.
That's pretty cool.
So and it's funny. It's one of those. Is the 360 one of my top systems of all time? It's funny. I'd say it's in the top systems of all time, but I can't rank it.
It's
like
just
the
good
top.
enough.
It's just good enough to be in my top 10. I don't know where I'd rank it. It's not a top 3, but it's a great system.
It's a jack of all trades kind of machine.
Yes, it does if somebody comes in here and says, I've never owned a system before or something, well, what should I get Junior? If possible, I think I'd say 360. Or maybe a PS2, but it depends on what type of visual you want,
Right.
But for me, I think a 360 does it all.
Yeah.
It's what I like about it.
360, it does it all.
It does. Now, the one thing I hate is the naming of all the after that. They should have kept going with the 360.
Yeah, that's going to be a short later on.
Another one later on. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, saying all that, thanks for watching the video, and it'll be a great time.